examination is not the true test of knowledge. So how can you tell me that being objective question, you just get your question and then you answer it and you say you reason? You didn't use your head. But when you use objective question, when you use essay question, you are being able to reason. You crack your head and you know that you are testing your knowledge to write. Second of all,
it is well known by all of us here that objective examination takes shorter time to mark than essay examination. In essay examination, a teacher may get tired in marking rubbish that students are doing writing. But in objective examination, the answer may
10 years ago, I was in SS2. It was first term, and I was trying to make new term resolution on my academics, being serious, being a good student, being a good child to my parents, and all that. And I clearly remember a group of coppers who came to my school at the time, and they talked to us about, drug abuse. They told us about how to make our lives better. They told us how to be more serious in our academics and stuff like that. And I clearly remember because I was in the back seat of that hall, that auditorium, and I was just quietly thinking through what they were saying. I clearly remember because that was the first time I knew that people actually abuse drug and sniff glue. It was actually very confounding for me. But beside the fun part of that and the expository part of that discussion, we were inspired. I was particularly inspired. So 10 years later, when I got posted to serve in Northeast Nigeria, which is one of the most, and no offense here, but which is one of the most or one of the least educated parts of the world, I decided to replicate that experience here in the North. And so I wanted to do something that could be able to inspire students and to encourage them and to challenge them to be more serious with their academics. And so I decided to carry out a personal community development project. I work in a hospital, and even though manpower is kind of strained in my facility, my HOD is a very kind and understanding man, and he gave me permission and a little bit of time out to be able to carry out this project, and then I launched it. So hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Audu Agada Peter. I'm a medical doctor and content creator serving currently in Nigeria, and I want to give you a glimpse into my personal community development project. So the idea was quite simple. Reach out to as many students within the metropolis in secondary schools as much as possible, and then also provide them with digital learning tools so that they will be able to adapt to modern ways of learning. The idea was to give them options while they study. Reading from textbooks could be quite sometimes boring and monotonous. But most of us, if you use YouTube, then you've definitely used the internet to learn one or two things, and videos can go a long way to help students. A year ago, I worked on a project, and actually that project was what led me to YouTube. This channel is not my original channel when I started YouTube. I started YouTube on that particular channel, and the idea was to provide digital learning tools to students in secondary school. Initially, it was science students, but eventually we expanded to include art students and commercial students in the secondary school level. The target was SS2, SS3 students, those trying to get into tertiary institutions and all that. So that was our primary target. So when I started this project, I decided to incorporate a little bit of that into my project. So I visited about 25 secondary schools within the metropolis here in Gombe, local government in Gombe State, and I was able to address about 14 secondary schools, and my target audience was the SS2 and SS3 students in these secondary schools. Eventually, I was able to speak to SS2 and SS3 students in 8 public schools, 6 private schools, and 3 missionary schools within the metropolis. It was fun, it was exciting. Along the course of this video, I'm going to show you some of my interactions with these students. It was also a little bit scary because when I was sharing some of the information which were supposed to be common knowledge with these students, they were a little bit, it was new to them, and it was also a very humbling experience because when I spoke to the students, I could see some of the impact of the words that I was speaking in their eyes. And besides all the speaking and all the flamboyancy of the program, after speaking with the students, some of them asked questions, but most of the time after the whole discussion, some of them, take me to corners and then they express some of their concerns, their fears and their doubts. And it was really nice to be able to answer some of these questions and provide some solutions to those problems that those students were facing.
Serious with our academics. And that day, he told us that day that we should go home, take a blank piece of paper, and what do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And then that night I went home, and I was thinking, I took my playlist and I was thinking, like, what am I going to be? What am I going to study? What am I going to score in the coming exams? How can you be going for the exam and you don't have a plan? You don't even know. So if I ask you now, how many distinctions do you want to buy? Somebody maybe like 4. What's maybe? You have to be sure. You have to be clear on what you want. They are all wrong. See, the time and the energy and the effort is going to take you to achieve. You can still use that time and prepare for the exam and do it well, in peace. Not that you be. The only way you are really going to be outstanding is you have to be like this. I'm sure you guys know this. Who this is? Bolt is the fastest man in the world. Now look at the gap between the average people and the Bolt. Now this is what it means to be head and shoulders above the crowd. To be so far ahead of the crowd that no matter the score they are given, who is going to win this race? This is the finish line. Like, this, if we are dividing, it's a 100-meter race, right? This is the last 10 meters, right? So this is from the 90th meter to the 100th meter, right? This is like SSC, right? This is the last lap of everything. The people that will win the race are the people that are head and shoulders above the crowd, like this. Such that no matter what school you apply to, you will be selected. And if you want to choose somebody to represent your school for the race, why are you going to choose? Are you going to choose this guy? Are you going to choose this guy? No. Maybe there's somebody here. Are you going to choose that person? Everybody is going to be looking at this guy or this guy. And I will not even look at this guy so much. I'll just be thinking about this guy only. You have to be outstanding. Your results have to be outstanding. And the only way those things can happen is when you decide to make them outstanding by yourself. Not by the preaching of your teachers. Not by every day. So every day they'll have seminar for you. Be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. You have to be studying. And then next week you forget. And then after 1 week you remember again. That's true. I have to be serious. This is no longer the time to be joking. SSS one student, and maybe just
all the schools that I spoke at together, I was able to address 1,200 students, teenagers in particular, and that was actually very interesting.
Thank you very much. Can I see your hand? You want to form strong head. No matter how they lash you, you resist it. Even if they beat you 25, you will not shake, you will not touch it. You think that's what SS2? SS2 is stubborn head. SS2 is to be rebellious. You think that's SS2? There's no wonder in SS1 you'll be reading 1 hour a day. At least. Minimum 1 hour a day. If you're in SS2, you'll be reading minimum how many hours? 2 hours a day. 2 hours. And if you're in SS3, it's not by shouting on junior boys or flogging a fool in your hostel. That is not SS3. SS3 is a responsibility of character and intelligence. You know why? Now let's say you sharpen your pencil with sharpener and you start shading. It will take you time. Now shade with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds, 5 seconds to shade one answer. Just one answer, 5 seconds. It will waste your time. The better way, the smart students in the room, how they'll sharpen their pencils, they'll sharpen their pencil like a chisel. You know what I mean by chisel? So that the mouth will be flat like that. So when they want to shade, they'll just do like this. They'll just do like this. 1, 2. And they finish shading. And it's going to take them 1 second. Do you understand what I'm talking about? How many seconds have you saved now from these 2 questions? For this one question? How many seconds? 4. But that's not all. Let me tell you where the magic is. These 4 seconds. You know there are 100 questions. Question 1 to question 100. So every question, how many seconds are you saving? 4 seconds. 4 seconds for every question. That's how many seconds? 400. That's how many minutes when you divide 400 by 60. That's like what? 7 minutes. 7 minutes extra time without anything, just by sharpening your pen to where you can have 7 minutes extra time.
The second, and in my opinion, the most exciting part of the project was the inter-secondary school competition. While speaking at these secondary schools, I also dropped letters of invitation for an inter-secondary school quiz and debate competition across the secondary schools. And oh boy, what an experience it was. By the way, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and like this video. I'm a content creator. I do a little bit of medical lifestyle and a little bit of academics on this channel, and you're going to find a lot of content that will be very helpful in this channel. The quiz and debate competition was very interesting. Now, I need to give you a backdrop of how the program went so that you can have an idea. The quiz was supposed to feature just science subjects: maths, chemistry, physics, biology, and English language. The debate aspect of the competition was peculiar, and you're going to see clips right here in this video. We did not give the students that participated the topics that they were going to oppose or propose. We just gave them areas of concentration. From my experience, sometimes teachers, go the extra mile to even write points for their students. And at the end of the day, the debate becomes a function of the prowess of the teacher, not the ability of the students. So to remove that from the equation, we gave them areas of concentration, about 7 topics for them to think about and, think about opposing and proposing. On the day of the competition was the day we gave the schools that were participating the topics they were going to debate. Not just that, it was still on that day that they knew if they were going to be proposing the motion or opposing the motion. And it was amazing what these kids could do with the short time that they had. The quiz aspect had, 2 aspects of the quiz, essentially. The first part was the traditional quiz where, we asked them oral questions. The second part, however, is known as the fastest and best. And if you are familiar with quizzes here, you will know fastest and best. Here, you give the students 120 seconds or 160 seconds for them to answer as many questions as they can answer from, a selected set of questions. And it was very interesting. Now, for the rest of this video, you're going to be seeing clips from the quiz and clips from the debates part of the competition. But before I show you that part of the competition, I want to say a very big thank you to all the people who crowdfunded the project. And I want to say with gratitude that 100% of the funding for this project actually came by crowdfunding. My friends of friends, and even strangers from the internet contributed to make this project a reality. We were able to raise 100,000 naira, and all the funds went into procuring materials to encourage the students to be more dedicated and more serious about their academics. We were able to give out, in the period of the project, 140 books to students in the SS2 and SS3 classes. We got calculators for them, we got stationaries for them, and it was actually very interesting. We also got medals for the winners and certificates for the participating schools, and it was a very, very, very interesting process. Probably going to miss out some names, but I really want to appreciate all these people. I want to appreciate Father Jude Agada, Franca Ekwonu, Teresa Dada, Stephanie, my dear friend Dr. Oche Nozie Otote. Thank you so much. Fatima, Tunde Ko, Dr. Mrs. Aisha, Solomon, Father Major, Dr. Adanu George, Simon Idugba Deji, Tosin Babala, thank you so much. Edo Friday, Ebuka, Lukman, Richard, Kenny, Talatu, Ola, Hassan, thank you so much. These guys just helped me to be able to conduct the program. Organizing a debate for secondary schools isn't such an easy process, and they were able to help with the organization, timekeeping, moderating, judging. I really, really appreciate you guys. So much from me. Here are clips from the competition and from the quiz. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting. I really, really, really appreciate. And see you on the other side.
Atoms are the smallest indivisible unit of an element. This theory was proposed by. Correct answer. If all the hydrogen atoms of an acid are not completely displaced by a base in a reaction, what type of salt is formed? If all the hydrogen atoms in an acid are not completely displaced by a base, what type of salt is formed?
A corresponding salt.
That is not the right answer.
Pass.
What is the chemical symbol for silver?
AU.
That is not the correct answer. What is the chemical symbol for silver? The breaking of long chain hydrocarbon into short chain hydrocarbon using a catalyst is called dash. The breaking of long chain hydrocarbons into shorter chain hydrocarbon using a catalyst is also known as dash. Mention one instrument for detecting radioactivity. Mention one instrument for detecting radioactivity. The process of adding impurities to semiconductors to improve their properties is known as what? The power of magnification of lenses is measured in what? The power of the magnification of lenses is known as what? Is measured in what?
Delta.
Correct. What is the unit for pressure? What is the unit for pressure except Newton per meter square or what? The unit for pressure is Newton per meter square or what? Or what? No. Another one.
Pass.
Transverse waves have amplitude, crest and trough, while longitudinal waves have dash and dash. Transverse waves have amplitude and crest. Please, a round of applause for better answer. I can go to the next question if you want, but if you don't say anything, I'll stay there. Pardon me? Wrong. Wrong. Should I go to the next question? Pass. Question 2. Elements with the same atomic number but different mass number are regarded as dash. Elements with the same atomic number but different mass number are regarded as dash. Correct. 5.2. Then. Next. Cyclopentane and pentane differ by how many hydrogen atoms? Cyclopentane and pentane differ by how many hydrogen atoms? Correct. 5 points for them. The number that tells the quantity of hydrocarbon. The number that tells the quality of hydrocarbon fuel is known as dash. The number that tells the quality of a hydrocarbon fuel is known as octane number. Correct. The planetary model of the atom was proposed by who? Who proposed the planetary model of the atom? Who proposed the planetary model of the atom? That is not the correct answer. The SI unit is dash. The SI unit for light is dash. Alpha rays are similar to helium atoms, while beta rays are similar to dash. Alpha rays are similar to helium atoms, while beta rays are similar to dash. State the length equation. You have to make this statement. State the length equation. State the length equation. Pass. Substances that polarize light are also called dash. Substances that polarize light are also called dash. That is not the correct answer. Polaroids is the correct answer. And that brings us to the end of the quiz. Please, a round of applause for dry ice. What is the component of dry ice? That is not the right answer. The third member of the alkyne family is called dash. The third member of the alkyne family is called dash. That is not the correct answer. Number 4, crude oil is refined in what process? Crude oil is refined with what process? Question 5, quantum number orbitals and shells are largely based on the atomic model proposed by who? Quantum numbers, orbitals and shells are based on the atomic model proposed by who? Pass. Lenz's law describes the relationship between magnetic field and cathode rays are made up of which particles? Cathode rays are made of which particles? A positively charged electron is also called a what? A positively charged.
I am by name Kuche Febo, a student of St. James Secondary School, and I'm here to propose the motion which says that essay is better than objective examination. First and foremost, what is an examination? What is an essay examination? An essay examination is a question being answered in written form, and an examination means a question being answered either written or oral form. Now, essay examination is obviously better than objective examination. Why? Because essay examination, you don't guess. You use your knowledge to write. Now, for example, Mr. Peter, you are asking them questions and the audience you are just getting up and down. They don't even know what they are writing. They don't even know what they are saying, but they just say it so that they can get a gift. But when you are using your essay, you crack your knowledge. You use your number 6 to think. According to science and according to study, that examination is not the true test of knowledge. So how can you tell me that being objective question, you just get your question and then you answer it and you say you reason? You didn't use your head. But when you use objective question, when you use essay question, you are being able to reason. You crack your head and you know that you are testing your knowledge to write. Second of all, is that when you write your essay examination, you write it step by step. The teacher marking it on the examiner will know that you know what you are doing. You know what you are doing, even though you didn't arrive the final answer, but he knows that you have the sense of what you're writing. But in objective question, you just say this. If you you fail. He doesn't even know what you're doing. And if you get it, you get it. The teacher don't even know if it's guesswork or what. With this one point of mine, I'm very sure that I've been able to convince you beyond all reasonable doubt that essay examination is far more better.
Mr. Chairman, sir, the moderator, panel of impartial judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good day. My name is Mesha Philibus from Government Science Secondary School, Gombe, and I am here to oppose the motion that says essay examination is better than objective examination with the following convincing points of mine. But before I proceed, I would like to define the term examination and examinations. Examination is the format of which of a student's knowledge. Firstly, loss of confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, you will believe with me because all of us here are students. Between essay examination and objective examination, which one is the best? It is objective examination. Why? Because if objective examination is not the best, we wouldn't have been here doing quiz on objective examination. And addition to that is graded. It is graded manually. The job examination, which you must qualify for you to go into university, is done in objective. Why? Because objective examination. Why? Because objective examination is the best. Secondly, it takes shorter time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is well known by all of us here that objective examination takes shorter time to mark than essay examination. In essay examination, a teacher may get tired in marking rubbish that students are doing writing. But in objective examination, the answer may with this point of mine, I hope I'll be able to convince you because I'm very proud of my point and I'm very proud that I know you will agree with me that objective examination is better than essay examination.
Judges permitting to stand on existing protocols. I'm here to propose the motion which states that essay examination is better than objective examination. My colleague has already defined examination, so I'd just like to hit the nail on the head. First of all, my opponents, you state that objective examination saves time. But I like to tell you that if you know what you are doing, there's nothing like time. If you know what you are doing, even the essay can be able to hit the nail on the head. Objective examination does not define one knowledge. With essay examination, we can be able to express ourselves. My opponents, you talked about students being tired. It is only you talked about teachers being tired of marking essays. It is only a teacher that doesn't have passion that will not sit and concentrate and match his students' course. A passionate teacher would like to read his students' essay because it is only from essay that you know where the students have been paying attention. Because it's obviously you can do guesswork and you can do guesswork and also fail. So essay is the true test of knowledge. It will help the teachers know where their students stand and to help the teachers know whether they have impacted knowledge on that student and to also help the teachers to improve their teaching skills. So my opponent, next time when you come up to say something here, please say something that is tangible and something that we cannot agree to. And with this, I would like to say essay examination broadens one knowledge. Once you have an essay, for example, what is computer? It will sharpen your knowledge, it will make you to think wide and wide as in all ramifications. From OBJ, if you don't know the answer, you can just think and just do guesswork. If you fail, you fail. If you get, you get. And again, mostly exam is 70 marks. The OBJ just carries 20 marks, while the essay carries 50 marks. Do you know that if you fail the whole OBJ and still make it up in your essay, you are passing your exam? But if you get the whole OBJ and fail the essay, then you have done wrong. So, my panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen, with this point of mine, I'm very, very sure again that I'll be able to convince you and not to confuse you.
My name is J.C. Ajabe from Government Science Secondary School, Gombe, and I'm here to further oppose the motion that says that essay exams are better than objective writing. First of all, before I continue, I would like to ask the audience a question. Let's talk students to students. We know that sometimes in exam halls, some answers that we don't know. Sometimes we teach the objective so that we can just go out of the exam hall, and at the end of the day, if luck is on our side, we get the objective and we pass our examinations. Essay, if you really know what you Sometimes the answers in essay are in your objectives and you get your answers. Secondly, some users' writing affects what they are trying to say. Some people writing in their examination hall, their writing is not very good enough so that their teacher can comprehend. So when they are writing their answer, some teachers will not understand what they are writing, and so they can fail their examination. Furthermore, questions sometimes are not straight because when some teachers ask confusing questions that can twist your brain and you will not know what to write in the essay. But in the objective, the question are straightforward. I hope that I have finally adequately that the type of objective examination is better than essay examination.
Thank you. I'm back on the stage to round off my point. My opponent, you said that the teachers won't understand the handwriting, but you said that the questions are being twisted. Then why is it called an examination, or why is it called a test? It's called a test in order for us to think well and for our knowledge and overseas to be well developed. If our thinking is not well developed, then how are we going to pass the examination? Please, my audience, help me answer this question. If we are so lazy with our brains, how can we be able to be those professors who want to be in future? How can we be those doctors who want to be in future? How can we reason with our head? So with this point of view, I'm very sure that we're able to counter their point, and I'm very sure that I've convinced you guys that essay writing, our essay examination is far more better.
I still remember measure syllabus from government science secondary school. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to agree with me that objective examination is better than essay examination. Why? Because if objective examination is not better than essay examination, this event happening here, we would have been writing in papers, not in objective. And a good example of exam that is reading in objective is the JAM. And gradually, as the technology is improving, even the wire and the neighbor will be writing in computers, and it is also objective. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to agree with me that objective examination is better, it's far better than essay examination. I have no doubt in my point as you are listening very carefully, and I am very sure that you will agree with me that objective examination is far better than essay examination. Thank you.
So that was a glimpse into my personal community development project. My project actually has 4 phases, and these constitute 2 parts of the project. It was interesting and it was exciting. In conclusion, I want to say this: I'm very passionate about education, and my YouTube channels have been dedicated actually purely towards education and academics, to help students, to help students have a better experience through school. I believe education is actually the bedrock of society, and is the only commerce between experienced people and the young people, and it's a bridge. It's a way we can actually make the world a better place. Currently, I'm carrying out the phase 2 of my digital education project. The idea is to have the whole West African O-level curriculum online in simple, accessible, fun ways, so that kids raised in Nigeria and West Africa can have access to quality education materials online. And I know this is going to take a lot of effort, but we're already more than halfway done in this project. I'm very open to partnership, I'm very open to sponsorship, I'm very open to angel investors for this project. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next video.